Hi, I'm Jay Height here at Shepherd Community. It is September and we're excited. The playground's under renovation. The kids actually can use part of it, and so they're very thankful. You can see the pictures of all of the rest of the work that's being done, AstroTurf and gravel being put down. By the end of the month, by the end of September, it will be exciting. So the kids can use all of it and not always get so dirty in the mud, and track all the mulch in. It's a much safer fall for kids as they play on this playground. So we're excited and appreciate everyone who made it possible. You're going to hear from a volunteer who makes it possible for us to deliver food each week to over 150 homes.
My name is John Nell. I'm a volunteer here at Shepherd's. I have a heartwarming moment every Wednesday because every Wednesday I get the opportunity to see some people I've come to know since I deliver groceries on Wednesday, which I pick up here at Shepherd's and then deliver to anywhere from 7 to 9 people every Wednesday. Each of those people is in varying stages of their life in relationship to their age, their marital life, sometimes their medical conditions. They have some degree of suffering that all of us experience from time to time, perhaps for them greater than what most of us have to suffer through. And the heartwarming moments are when I'm thanked by them for bringing the groceries that Shepherd's has provided. And that happens every time. And the heartwarmingness, if that's a word, is that you see people who may have every reason in the world not to be grateful and thoughtful of others, and they are, in fact, to me. So I drive a white pickup to deliver the goods, to deliver the groceries and the other items that we deliver. And my white pickup has become known to those as they look out the window. But more importantly, and what's really heartwarming, is my first name has been known to them. So every Wednesday, I have that experience, frequently coupled with the idea that someone calls me by my name and is thankful and thoughtful. The real delivery is that by coming Wednesday and bringing things they need, we shepherds, in my judgment, in my experiences, have given them something which is important to everyone. We've made a contact. We've said by coming every Wednesday that they are important and that we recognize that. And we're really honored to have the opportunity to make that contact and to exhibit that. So at one point, my deliveries included a grandmother who took care of 2 grandchildren who were beautiful. And she reached a point where she's having severe difficulty with the children's mother, her daughter. And we delivered one day and she was in tears that only perhaps a mother could cry, and only perhaps as a result of a deep disagreement with her flesh and blood, her daughter. And she reached out to me after I put the groceries down in her front room and asked for a hug. So she gave me a hug for just being there, but I think really for being Shepherd's, that someone was thinking about her and appreciating her presence. Time, whatever time is, seems to us, at least on this planet, to be finite. But I think that within the concept of time is the concept of opportunity or obstacle. And I think sometimes we see experiences in life or events in life, and the key question is, do we see it as an obstacle to what we really want, or an opportunity to do things that might be what we should be seeking? And coming to volunteer at Shepherd's does not impose an obstacle to my meaningful life, hopefully meaningful life, but an opportunity to expand upon what makes it meaningful and in my relationship. So I would, and this is a wonderful place, and the people that operate this place have their hearts in the right place and their minds, and it's a wonderful place to volunteer, and I can guarantee you there are things for you to do if you want to volunteer here, and you will be pleased of a decision to do that because it's rewarding, but it's carrying forward to what our faith says we should be doing.
We can only do what we do because of so many great volunteers. If you'd like to help deliver food or serve in our kitchen or help tutor a kid, contact Donna Alexander here at Shepherd Community, and she could connect you with meaningful ways to help our neighbors break the cycle of poverty. One of our great partners is IPS. Dr. Alan Mickens is the principal at School 58, where we embed staff because we are committed to quality education seats in all of our schools in our neighborhood. Hear from Dr. Mickens.
It's my 10th year as an educator. As a principal, 3rd year as a principal, 2nd year here at Ralph Waldo. I'm naturally attracted to schools where the support is needed, where the students need a strong leader to really begin to make shifts. Initially, when I was born, my grandmother lived off of Hendricks Place, so very familiar with this side of town. So it was just a natural transition, and I feel like the Lord was like, that's where I need you. And it's not going to be easy, and I really feel the Lord's given me a gift with turning around schools, so it was time, and I accepted the mission.
Do you think it's 113 grams or 113 kilograms?
113 kilograms.
You think kilograms? Okay, so write kilograms if that's what you think, and then you have to write why.
I didn't realize just how powerful the partnership was until I got here. I was like, oh, Shepherd actually has staff inside our building to support. This year, we've really expanded that partnership, and when they're not providing support to families, they're actually pushing into the classroom to support students.
At School 58, we have a community care coordinator who runs programming here. She also helps during our day-to-day activities. We have a full-time fellow and a part-time fellow that help run our after-school programming as well.
So basically, and this one's an easy one. We just have to take out the period. That's it. Because this is technically all one sentence together. I have been in this role for just over 2 years. I would say that these kids are like my kids. They have their struggles, but there's nothing like feeling like a celebrity every day when you come to work because everyone just wants to come and give you a hug. But there are a lot of parents who will just send me encouraging text messages. I actually had a parent last week buy me breakfast. So just building that relationship with our families and our kids. And I live in the community, so I see a lot of our families out at the store, so it just helps them have somebody that they can trust.
After school!
We are in a crisis in the community, and there's so many academic gaps there. So now Shepherd has really increased their work in the building, not only to support families, but to support students while they're here. So in that partnership, they're supporting our families, like maybe having a vehicle be fixed, our utilities in the house, our food. We have a family who needs beds. Like Shepherd runs to the problem. I mean, they're mission driven, right? They're truly mission driven in that work and do what God says to do, what we should do in the community. So I did not know the extent of this partnership before I got here, but this year we really wanted to make sure that we increase the involvement, and it's been outstanding.
Let's just look in the bin one more time, and then let's see if somebody else has it. With Dr. Mickens as principal and Shepherd right there to help with anything needed, and having people like me here and Rachel, I think it's very helpful because we can help assist with the issues and needs of the school so that we can keep an IPS neighborhood school on the near east side, 100%.
We can only do what we do because of great partners like IPS, and so we appreciate all of the staff at 58 and at Tech High School at Purdue Polytech, where we're also embedding staff. We are committed to helping our kids thrive and live up to the expectations that God created them for. One of those partnerships is with IMPD. And you're going to hear from our officer, Officer Adam Perkins, as he talks a little bit about it on our podcast.
There are food insecurity issues that probably aren't exactly what people think of when they think of food insecurities. They have perhaps access to foods, but not access to quality foods. Or they've got the means to get that food through, food stamp programs, vouchers, whatever. But again, transportation, so they end up using those dollars at the convenience store as opposed to going to a higher quality grocery store to get that food. That has downstream effects and health and many other things. And then our neighborhood in and of itself is consumed with, I hate to classify it as, but predatory business practices. Your gas stations become the food source, and so they all go into the program to accept the food stamps. And again, you got the food issue there. You've got check cashing stores and payday loans on several corners, the pawn shops, the
Buy here, pay
liquor
here.
stores, the buy here, pay here. All of these, it's expensive to be poor. It is. And without that future orientation that keeps popping up, you go and you sign for this vehicle on payments because you think you can hit that payment. But then a guy like me comes behind and looks at your sale contracts and realize that you're paying $15,000 for a car that the dealership probably has $1,500 in. And it's not going to last them the term of the loan. And so they get behind on that, and they make sacrifices in other property that maybe is worth the money to then keep their it's a broken system. And it at every point takes advantage of their situation. And many of our neighbors just go from crisis to crisis. That's how they live their life.
They're living in their amygdala,
Yeah.
that fight or flight mechanism that God created for a purpose, but not for us to stay there. It takes away your ability to think logically. And so why does Adam get called to all of a sudden someone pulled a gun and they're like, what are you mad about? Well, he looked at me. What do you mean? I think it's we have to train people how to think differently. That's a collective issue. I think mental health is one of those issues that we see symptoms, but there are causes, not the symptoms. I think that what's happening is Adam and Shane are sort of the tip of the spear that allows folks who don't know how to advocate or navigate be able to get the services they critically need.
What lens we are looking through in public safety is we're seeing the end result or the crisis that comes from all of these things he just mentioned, all of the stresses of life, all of the many crises converging together. And so when we get dispatched to that disturbance run and we show up and we're struggling to understand why these two parties are so upset with each other and why it's now turning violent, when we're afforded the opportunity to kind of break that apart, slow it down, ask a few questions, you pretty quickly get to the root of things.
We so appreciate each and every one of you giving us of your time to hear about these important updates. If you want to help, you can always donate items. We need snacks for the kids in all of our programs. We can always use more diapers. We have a special program coming up where we're going to be helping young mothers in the neighborhood, including in our partners IPS. And so we're needing diapers and baby wipes, things that we can share with them. And if you haven't listened to, go to where you download your podcast and put in Breaking the Cycle of Poverty and listen as we tell the story of the exciting things happening here at Shepherd Community. It happens because of friends like you who support us, who volunteer, the great staff here I'm blessed to serve with, and we hope this September you have a great time and look forward to updating you next month.